Hello everybody. Today we are going to go over the Future of Zoos assignment. I'm going to be giving you guys some tips as we go over questions that will help you with answering questions like this in the future. I turned my webcam off so we can see both the questions and the article so that you don't have to have the article in front of you. You should get a piece of paper and a pen so you can jot down a few notes about what we're going over. If you'd like, you can do this in your journal that you created. Feel free to pause it so you can go and get your writing utensil if you'd like. The reason that you're going to write down tips is for your own future use with questions like this in the future, just like when we go over assignments together in class. But also, I'm going to be offering a little bit of extra credit to help boost your score on this assignment if you write down the tips, and I will give you an option to send it to me. Stay tuned later for that post about how you can send that information to me. If you show me that you have been writing down the tips that I'm going over, then again, you'll be able to boost your score a little bit on this assignment. All right, so we've worked with this article for 3 different assignments now. Hopefully you've done all 3. The questions that we're going over right now, if you did not complete that assignment, I messaged you separately already. That assignment is now closed. You may not complete that assignment anymore. That's going to go in as a missing assignment. Please message me separately if you'd like a chance to do a makeup assignment for that, because obviously if we're going over answers, I can't keep it open for you to complete anymore. Here we go. First tip. Remember to preview before you read. This is always a good tip, guys. We do this in history and in English class. You want to make sure that you preview the article by looking at the title, by reading the tagline that's underneath the title, by reading the little questions that are highlighted here to help you with thinking about it, by looking at bold words. In this article, you could actually click on the word and it'll tell you more about the word. So that's what's great about these Junior Scholastic articles. When you're scrolling through, you'll see some images. Always reading the picture caption for the images is good. And most important for this article, most importantly, excuse me, reading the headings. These headings are going to help you with finding information later. They'll also help you to preview what the main points of the article are about. And of course, that was one of the questions. What's the central idea of the article? Remember, central idea is the same thing as main idea. When you preview the headings, you'll see things like saving species, not a simple solution, bad for animals' health, and a new kind of zoo. So those headings are going to help us out as we go over these questions. They'll help you to get a main idea in your head before you even read. So remember, tip number 1 is to preview before you read. Another tip for you guys is to make sure that as you read and after you read, you at least think about, if not write down, the main ideas of the article. So have that in mind before you go through questions and answer questions about it. If you think about what the main ideas are, as you read and after you read, you'll have a better chance of understanding and showing your comprehension through questions like this, journal assignments, or the discussion assignment that I posted as well. Okay. We are not going to go over every single question in detail. But I'll address a little bit about each of the questions. Question 1, which is the central idea about the article. Almost everybody got number 1 correct. Good job. If you did not get this one correct, perhaps you didn't read carefully, perhaps you didn't read the article very carefully, or perhaps you didn't read the answer choices very carefully. Because this one is talking about the ways that zoos are changing the way they treat and exhibit animals. The future of zoos, just that title should have given that away just a little bit, but throughout the text they were talking about the different ways that zoos are trying to address some of the problems that have been brought up. Question number 2 was one of the ones that more people missed. Which detail best supports that central idea? That central idea was referring back to this question, guys. So make sure you read questions carefully. When you go over these details, there are some statements that are details from the article, but they're not supporting this central idea. Now, of course, you had to get number 1 right in order for this one to make more sense to you. But again, most of you got number 1 correct. When you are going through these details, make sure that you think about how do they support that central idea. Okay. All right, number 3. Number 3. Based on context clues in the following statement, what does expansive mean? So when we are talking about context clues in the following statement, always read the whole statements that's there to try to think about what the word means in context. But then another tip for this one, go back to the text to see where this came from, because you can look at other context clues that might be able to help you out with figuring this answer out. The majority of you got that one correct. For those of you who didn't, going back to the text, you can see that this is where that question was, or that sentence was found in paragraph 4. It talks about the exhibit a little bit more. It's talking about the primates exhibit, and it talks about a little bit more in the paragraph above as well to show you that expansive is talking about being spacious. See, it talks about metal cages being in contrast here. It talks about how they have lots of space in the paragraph above. All right, question number 4. Question number 4 says, how are zoos today different from in the past? Well, you had to read the whole article, of course, but one thing you could have done was scan through to find the heading, Zoos of the Past. This is talking about zoos of the past a little bit, and that's a contrast to what was written above. Okay, what was written above was talking about different ways that zoos have changed. So some changes are easy to spot, for instance. Okay, it's talking about the different changes that happened in the zoos. And so when we are talking about zoos today, we have zoos of the past, we have some details that were brought up here, and we have underneath that saving species. So now it's talking about many of the nation's best zoos have made it their mission to protect animals. So it's talking more about how they've changed. Okay, so that's why number 4 was talking about devoting millions of dollars today to conservation and research that are different from zoos in the past. All right, number 5, according to zoo critics, which is one reason why zoos are inhumane. Almost everybody got this right. Great job. You can actually find this word inhumane in paragraph 6. So for those of you who did not get this one correct, well, again, when we preview, we find vocab words ahead of time. And this is a blue word that you could actually click on. So if you weren't sure about what it meant, that could be one thing that would help you. There is the answer right here in this paragraph. It's talking about how many animals suffer from anxiety, boredom, stress, that wild animals should stay free outside. So this answer was given away right here in this paragraph. Good job. Again, most of you got that one right. Number 6, why does the author mention zoos breeding efforts for the red wolf and the black-footed ferret? Go back to the text, guys. We had 71% get this correct. If you go back to the text, you'll find that effort underneath saving species. So in this paragraph here, zoos have helped these species recover from the brink of extinction. So you just have to find the words and make sure that you find the words in the text for this one. If you find the same wording, you're able to figure it out, and you can use the clues from the headings, again, saving species. Number 7 was one of the ones that a lot of people missed. Which detail best supports the idea that life in captivity is often difficult for animals? Oopsie. When we are talking about this one, we are looking for this in the text, that life in captivity is often difficult for animals. So when we're going back to this part of the text, we want to make sure that we're rereading the answers carefully. Most of you chose D for this. It says many animals raised in captivity lack the skills to survive in the wild. That is an argument of people who are against zoos, but that doesn't help to actually support this main idea that life in captivity is often difficult for animals. Life in captivity is often difficult for animals because they are trapped in and act in ways that they wouldn't in the wild. So when you choose letter D, it doesn't support this main idea. Number 8, which best describes the structure of the article? This is text structure. I was sad to see that quite a few of you got this one wrong as well. Here's my big hint for text structure, guys. Go back and read the headings. Let's see. Saving species. Not a simple solution. When we look back at those headings, I was trying to find the last one. There we go. Bad for animals' health. When we look at that, just the headings alone, they give us some problems and that they're working on solutions. There's that word right there. When you read the text carefully, you'll notice that the text talks about how there are problems with zoos and there are problems with wild animals, and that the zoos are trying to find solutions to help to change the way that they're addressing some of these problems. Okay, a new kind of zoo, again, that goes into solutions. Hopefully that one makes more sense now, guys, for text structure. Oh yeah, remember to use your text structures chart. Okay, you still have that in your binder. You can use that to help you identify text structure. Number 9 was another one that a lot of people missed. Which statement cannot be supported by information in the article? I shouldn't say a lot of people. Some of you missed. So when you look back at these statements, you want to actually physically find the evidence in the text. Okay, that's what you're looking for. When you look back in the text, you find that many zoos will likely to continue to transform how they treat and exhibit animals. We also find that in the eyes of zoo critics, animal sanctuaries are more humane than zoos. We also find in the text many species are endangered because of poaching and habitat loss. And we go back to the idea of saving species for that one. Okay, this part here. We do not find evidence in the text that improvements in zoos will likely end the debate over keeping animals in captivity. We don't know that that's true. We hope so, perhaps, but we don't know that that's true. We want to see more improvements is what the idea is here, and that zoos are trying to make improvements, but we don't see evidence that it will likely end the debate because there are a lot of issues and problems that were brought up here. All right, last one. Which word best describes Philadelphia Zoo's animals trail system and Jacksonville Zoo's computerized learning stations for gorillas? Well, guys, you had to go back to the text to find this. And it's right underneath where it talks about signs of a good zoo. It talks about the Philadelphia Zoo in Pennsylvania introducing a trail system. And it talks about Jacksonville Zoos. So again, find it in the text. Make sure that you're not lazy about it. Actually go back to the text. And both of these here, they are innovative ideas. And most of you got that. If you didn't know one of these words, you're welcome to look them up. Okay, that is an option for you guys on this particular type of assignment. But you did have clues in here. For example, exploring new ways to prioritize animals' needs. Okay, that is one little hint that this is an innovative strategy for them. All right, guys, make sure that you wrote down a few of your tips. I'm going to be posting up soon how you can send those to me for a little bit of extra on this particular assignment. Great job to those of you who are continuing to work hard and keep up with your work and tune in. And I hope that you are all having a wonderful day.